John Rich has joined us. He just did the rundown. I'm sure you're kind of doing the rounds. I'm sure it's a big media day for you. You don't need the headphones. What were you thinking? Like, there was not really a clamoring for this.
No, not a clamoring.
Not even a whisper, really.
There was a whisper.
There was not a whisper. I did not even
there
know
was
about
a whisper in my very small John Rich section.
Okay, that's what I mean. Nobody else.
Yes.
Like, by the time I learned about it watching it. That's not how these things usually happen. These things usually boil for 48 hours, and then it's like, he's doing it. I was like, oh, just John Ray. Oh, he did it. Okay.
Well, you got to strike while the iron's hot, right? You got to eat shit while shit's in the news.
Why did you pour the high noon in it? You like
wait? I didn't pour the high noon in it. No,
you had like it was like
that was a different cup to like wash it down.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. No, I thought you were like. You were kind of...
No, there were two separate clear cups.
Oh, okay.
So maybe, I guess that might have looked confusing.
Okay,
We've all said none of us could watch it. So we all skipped around.
Yeah, I don't think many people actually watched it. It was very long.
I mean, I watched the finale where you took it down pretty easy. I was like, I think this guy's eaten shit before. You gagged twice, and then you were like, I'm done. I'm good.
Well, let me back up 1 second, because you said how there was like nobody talking about it. You know the reason I did it, right?
The beheading. Yeah, you chop your own head off.
Yeah, so the whole beheading thing, and I thought that was the easiest way to get rid of that.
Yeah, what bet was that?
So last year, I said after Michigan beat Ohio State in the rivalry game, last game of the season, I still thought Michigan sucked. I was annoyed. I lost a bet. I bet a bunch on Ohio State. I said, if Michigan wins the national championship, I'll cut off my head. And then, so like, I've basically for the last however long, like, periodically
I have said
people.
So many things like that over the times. And
I obviously it's a joke. I'm not going to cut off my fucking head.
yeah. But I'm saying you also just don't even let these things.
Obviously, yeah. Obviously, I could have just not done it and just went on with my life.
Like, you actually just used a very important word where you're like, periodically someone will mention it, which I imagine is, if you're using periodically, I'm guessing it's pretty goddamn rare.
And I'm not going to lie, like, it kind of stirred up a little bit recently, but only because like I tweeted about it to like remind people. Like, yeah. By the way, hey guys,
cut your head off or eat shit.
Hey, just stir up a little, a little Twitter action. Like, hey, remember I got to cut off my head because Ohio State did the thing where he said he had to do all this stuff. Yeah. So like I made a joke about it. So I did have a few other people been like, oh yeah, cut off your head. They mentioned it on the rundown.
I'm going to assume this debt to wash out my own debt. And
yeah. So they talked about it. It was Nick Trainey, Nicky Smokes, Ohio State on the rundown yesterday. Threw that out there as like a way to bring an end to it.
Right.
And honestly, like, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh God.
Like, in my mind, it wasn't like that hard or that disgusting to me. I don't know what that says about me.
It says so much, dude.
I think it says I'm a very mentally strong, mind over matter type of person.
That's one way to look at it. That's one spin.
Yeah,
zone.
No, that's a pretty good
just because I knew if I just took
like a despicable dumpster of a human. That's another way to look at it.
Oh yeah,
like he eats shit and doesn't even faze him.
Look, I wish I didn't do it. My fiance is not. I'm not sure she's going to be home when I get back. She might be halfway to Ohio.
Yeah,
I was going to ask because you had a tweet being like, I think it was this morning.
Maybe? Like, what are her parents saying right now? What are your parents? What are the family? You know what I mean?
I was talking to my dad about the U.S. Open this morning, and I was thinking he's just intentionally not ready.
Yeah. There's no fucking way I'd be like, so talk to me about your shit eating son. I'd be like, I have failed as a father. I'm just going to pretend this didn't happen. Like, there's a whole other element of this that we're just like women. Like, we haven't even really addressed what this means with women.
Yeah.
We're just talking about the internet and sports and guys and honor and da-da-da. And then there's just a whole half of the population going, this is fucking disgusting.
Well, that was a funny, I don't know if Jack Mike mentioned this when he was here. In one of his tweets about the guy, he said, imagine having to explain to your fiance that you had to go 0 dark 30 on Twitter. It was like that's worse than explaining to your fiance that you ate shit for Twitter. I was like, trust me, like this is much worse having to explain to your fiance
what is like
that you ate
have you
shit.
Kissed her?
No.
Like obviously, you brush your teeth.
I think she would have. Out of respect, I haven't tried.
Right. And when you
I'm not sure if I will for a while.
Her friends are definitely in the group chat being like, so You know?
Yeah. I haven't even responded to my friend's text yet.
You're just so now you're going 0 dark 30.
I'm going 0 dark 30 on my friends, which is
you need to link up with 321 Knowles.
I do. We could start a shit eating podcast.
It is the worst. Like when you have to talk about, like I imagine every person doesn't like talking about their job, but I particularly like it less.
Yeah.
Like I don't like I don't like when a friend and it happens extremely rarely, periodically, if you will. Like a friend or my parent will mention something to me. Like my dad did it with me very recently, where he just let it slip. He was holding like 4 beers at a party, and it was right after the baseball sketch, and he's like, this is ridiculous. I'm holding 4 beers. Like, look at that guy in the sketch, and I was like, don't fucking
you watch this.
Watch those, dude.
Oh my God. And that's such a far cry from
so far
shit.
From like, I look like you fucking putting shit into a cup and spooning it out.
well, where I really went wrong, and like this is just me being
John.
Well, let me like I'm just talking like my mental process behind this. Where I really like went wrong, and like I wish I didn't do it now. Like I'm being honest. Like it's cool in case you're like I wish I didn't eat shit. But I just didn't I wasn't that bothered by it. Like I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
So
because I knew if I just took the tiniest fucking little bit, half an M&M size, and just ate like a pill,
it would that's what he was saying. He thinks you should go to a doctor.
It's really not.
I think you can.
That's what I am a little worried.
I don't think.
That.
I think you can
run some blood.
I'm about to do audio crack, and I'm pretty sure Billy's going to tell me I'm going to die. I'm going to get 45 minutes of you're about to die.
Such a chance that your dog has worms and now you have worms. That is obviously very much on the table. I also think you can take a smidge of anything in the world and take a bite of it.
That dude ate a plane one time.
A what?
Remember that dude who ate a plane?
Yeah, but that stuff,
people eat shit.
People eat glass and couches and stuff, but this is biological bacteria. Yeah, there's a difference, you know.
That's true. But also, I've seen my dog eat shit a lot too. Before.
Dogs
I try
eat
to
shit
stop
pretty regularly.
Yeah, dogs do it all the time.
Yeah,
people eat ass.
That's what I said. You're just taking a pretty big step, but a step further.
I don't think the tiniest bit is that far away from sucking an ass. You could take a little drop of
sucking an ass.
You could probably take a little drop of bleach, put it in your mouth. You'll be all right. You know,
that's what I'm thinking.
All these things that will kill you if you did enough of it, but if you do a little bit of it, you're probably okay. Is it still absolutely disgusting? Sure. Do you need to run to the doctor? Probably not. Maybe though. We'll see.
I feel pretty good. I also not more mentally. I don't feel great.
Mentally, I would hope.
Physically, I would
be almost. I would be. It would be bad if you were mentally totally fine.
No, I wish.
But you see no more shit eating in your future.
You physically can do it, but you mentally can't.
But I did kind of have the thought, because it was so easy that
it should be your thing.
All right, how much?
For a certain amount of money, if I just had to eat that much shit a day, and that could be my career. I was so easy. It took me 15 minutes, Kevin. It took me 15 minutes.
I watched seconds when you actually did the
yeah.
The whole thing was 15 minutes.
Yeah.
The actual
only reason it took me longer is because I was trying to find a red Solo cup to match the guy's tweets, but I couldn't find one. But
I mean, I don't think there's too much of a market for shit eating.
I don't think
but if there was,
all.
would you make this your career? If Dave was I'll give you a raise.
If I go home today and my fiance's gone and I got to start over and I'm completely single, maybe. Maybe.